Two Smith and Wesson vintage 12 gauge shotguns. So what I have here on the bottom is a Smith and Wesson model 1000 shotgun, which was also made between the years of 1973 and 1975 by Howa Machine in Japan. They made two versions of this gun, the 1000T, which was for trap shooting, which is I believe what my model is because it has a modified choke, and then they made the 1000S as well. They also made this in 12 and 20 gauge, and like the Model 3000, Mossberg sold the Model 1000 for a few years after Smith and Wesson did. Now this one is a little bit more finely made than the Model 3000. You can tell the wood on both of these is excellent wood, but the grain on the Model 1000 is a little bit nicer. You have all that machine done scrolling or carving work on the sides of the receiver on the Model 1000. Here is actually the precursor to the Model 3000 and the Model 1000. This is the Smith and Wesson 916A. Now, back in about 1972, Smith and Wesson bought the patents and the rights to a shotgun called the Model 66 from a company called Noble Manufacturing, who was also located in Massachusetts. Noble Manufacturing was having a lot of financial difficulties, and Smith and Wesson decided they wanted to get into the shotgun game. So from approximately 1972 to 1978, Smith and Wesson made three models of this gun. They had the 916T, which was a takedown model that had a lot of quality issues. The breeches on them would actually blow up once in a while due to the takedown nature of the gun. They had the 916, which was the standard sporting model, and this one, which is the 916A, which was the tactical police model. And this particular one has a 20-inch barrel with a 7-shot magazine tube. So like my previous videos with my police, tactical, and riot shotguns, this one fits very nicely in my collection. Now, this particular example of a 916A is not in the best of shape. You can see some rust and some corrosion on the barrel and the magazine tube. You can also see that it's missing part of the rear sight. This actually has rifle style sights on it that were adjustable, so pretty good for its time. It was made for slugs and buckshot, things like that within police and law enforcement. And realistically, it never really took off. Again, Smith & Wesson was marketing this as a budget-friendly pump-action shotgun that could compete with the Model 870. However, this one never really caught on. Again, they only made this for about 6 years. If you can believe, this was a proof-tested 3-inch chamber. So packed pretty good wallop when you shot this thing. And again, there's not a whole lot of like really high-end parts on this. It has some interesting crossovers though. It has a rear tank safety that's set up like a Mossberg 500. It has the action release button on the rear left side of the trigger guard like a Mossberg 500, but it has the loading pattern more of an 870 style shotgun. So again, this was based on the Noble Model 66. And this gun is pretty interesting how it takes down. The barrel is threaded into the steel receiver, so the barrel does not come out. It's not a takedown model, but there is a nut on the end of the magazine tube that threads into the stanchion, if you want to call it that, the piece that actually holds the mag tube. And it not only allows the guts of the magazine tube to come out, but it also allows the entire magazine tube to be easily pulled out of the receiver. So the magazine tube is not threaded into the receiver, it's just kind of set in there with that one nut on the end that also holds the tension on the magazine spring. The trigger pull on this shotgun is remarkably good, ranging anywhere from 3 pounds 1.6 ounces up to about 4 pounds 12 ounces. It was really hard for me to get a pretty consistent pull, but every time you pull the trigger, it feels really good. This was another one of those shotguns that I just happened on at the right time. I don't even remember when I bought this. It was quite a few months ago, but in between the time that I bought my Model 3000 and my 1000, and I just haven't had a chance to show it on the channel yet. But this is another really interesting piece of Smith and Wesson history in a time period when they were really trying to be all things to all people. They had some shotguns, they had a lot of pistols that they had been selling to police for a very long time, and they really tried to get into a bunch of different markets. But I think after this one, they shied away from selling shotguns up until they released the Model 3000 and the 1000. And they did the right thing with those. They found a really good manufacturer in Howa in Japan and just private labeled some of their shotguns, as opposed to trying to buy up a company that was already going bankrupt from quality firearms. However, this one, I'm really hoping that it shoots well. I haven't even taken it out to the range. It's just been sitting for several months, and now that I have it out on the channel, I'm definitely going to have to take it out. I also do need to do an update on all of my police, tactical, and riot shotguns because I haven't taken them all out yet, and I have quite a few that need to be shown. If you want more information on the shotgun, check out Milsurp Garage. He has a lot more information than I do, and he does a whole lot of research before he makes his videos. He's actually where I found some of my information. So thanks for watching.